You spend most of your time in Fallout 4 wandering around post-apocalyptic Boston and trying to keep yourself alive. But what was everyone doing just as the bomb hit, and did anyone who didn't make it to the vaults survive? It would seem most accepted there was nothing they could do. Others finally had that fight with their boss, while some sat down with a beer and waited. But there are some skeletons you can find in the world that cause you to question just what was happening at the time the bomb hit. These are those stories. Our first tale is not a happy one and takes a bit of investigation. To find it, head over to the Chestnut Hill Lock Reservoir and check the terminal in the house. Here you'll find the story of a settler who, like you, actually managed to survive the apocalypse and is trying to make a go of it in the wasteland. His diary talks about setting up home and getting on with life, but it's the final entry that really pulls at the heartstrings. It talks about the loss of a beloved family member's locket while out on the lake. Heading out to the water, you'll find an upturned boat and, well, you can guess the rest. This next skeleton raises a lot of questions. The bathtub, fine, it's relaxing. You can understand wanting to soak away all of your troubles as the bomb drops. Maybe some lavender bubbles can take the edge off things. But the menacing machete-wielding mannequins and a sink plunger? What's that all about? This scene becomes even more creepy when you start asking if the guy in the bath arranged his new friends like that, or if someone's come in afterwards, found him dead, and did it anyway. Now, some people, when faced with the end of the world, prepare. Others party. The rest, improvise. The fact that this guy is surrounded by booze and drugs suggests he really made the best of what he had for one last big night out. No company? No problem here. Just drink enough until you can squint a bit at a mannequin and convince yourself you're not dying alone. There's never a good time to rob a bank, but you're really unlucky if your chosen time slot happens to coincide with the end of the world. If, as you're exploring, you find a bank with a tightly locked walk-in safe, have a look around the back before you waste any time trying to pick the lock, and you might find these two. One guy's waiting at his car for his partner in crime, who can be found hanging out the back of the vault. They'd blown the safe, put up a ladder to grab the cash, and crap. Just imagine all the stress and bother that went into this, all that planning, for nothing. Sorry guys. The next little tale comes in the form of this soldier whose last order seems to have been to protect the bomb from the other bombs. The fact that this one-man fallout shelter is surrounded by skeletons who look like they were trying to get in suggests he followed his orders at the expense of civilian lives, which is really bad news for them, but good news for us as we now have some extra ammo for the fat man. Now imagine the relief of getting inside one of the vaults, only to realise months later, perhaps years if you're lucky, that this would be where you'd die. That seems to be what's happened here. Obviously being bones, it's hard to get an age, but this is a full-size body as opposed to a child-sized corpse. While his stature suggests a grown-up, his lunchbox, comics and toys say otherwise. At least he died wedged into a corner with all the things he loved. And finally, this is more of an Easter egg than a story, but it's neat all the same. Head over to this location near the Boston Common and you'll find this perfect recreation of the bar from Cheers. There's Norm, Cliff with trademark postman's hat, and Sam behind the bar. You'll also find a baseball glove in the office to really hammer home the reference. Even after a nuclear bomb, this place still feels welcoming. And that's just 7 tales from the end of the world. We know there are loads more to discover. If you've seen any, let us know in the comments below, and try not to get too sad when you find the one in the barn. You'll know it when you find it. For more on Fallout 4, you're already in the right place here on GamesRadar+.